Where am I? Hello? Buddy, you're not on. You're not moving, buddy. Hold on a second. Please bear with, buddy. Back on. Buddy's still frozen. Give Buddy a second as Buddy welcomes you into a... Okay. Try this again. Jesus. Thank you for bearing with me. Welcome to another edition, Jesus Christmas, of The Ghosts and the Goats, starring me, your fantastically internet-inclined host, Buddy Thayer, paranormal investigator, welcoming you to join me on this magical adventure as we skip through the fields into the paranormal field and talk some paranormal stuff later on this evening, in about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to start with sports. But before I get into sports, before I get into this beautiful, I was pouring this great beer as I froze. This isn't the beer show. The beer show is on Thursday, but this is Crooked Current. You don't have to adjust your TV sets. This is a very large can. Oatmeal Raisin Stout, boys and girls. Crooked Current, the smallest brewery here in Rhode Island, the only feminine-owned brewery. Holy shit. Nicole, you make the best beer in the state of Rhode Island. Let me take a quick sip. Join me on this paranormal adventure where you'll find things aren't so scary in the paranormal field. Honestly, I feel that sometimes the living are a little bit more scary than the dead. Prime example of that, before we get started tonight's show, I want to give not a shout out, but like a salute. We'll say it's a salute to the two victims of the Brown University shooting, Mohammed Aziz Amirzakov. I'm sorry, I probably butchered his name. Mr. Amirzakov was 18 years old, and Ella Cook. They were both shot and killed in the Brown shooting massacre this past weekend. I'm here in Rhode Island. Brown University is about 20 minutes up the road. The street that it happened on, the street where this guy came out of, I used to spend a lot of time in that neighborhood growing up. The Thayer Street, no relation, Thayer Street, Hope Street area. One of the buildings featured in a lot of the newscasts. That's where my pediatrician was based out of. So they're currently looking for this guy. They took a person of interest into custody Sunday morning. Had nothing to do with it. Didn't match ballistics. Didn't even look like any of these pictures, honestly. Some of the pictures are grainy. I'm going to pop them up here in case anybody's from Rhode Island. They caught him like walking around the neighborhood on these different video. There's different images they released. He's rather a stocky man. He's wearing a green and black thing. Yeah, he's walking around these neighborhoods all around Brown University, scoping out the hood. You can't really see him there. It was the AI shot. This AI shot, I think, yeah, right here. AI kind of cleaned it up a little bit. They put glasses on him. Anyway, any information leading to this man's whereabouts, arrest, detainment, justice, 401-272-3121, Providence Police, and the federal... Holy shit, I'm frozen again! And the FBI. I'm going to roll forward with this for a few minutes, folks. Bear with me before I bring on tonight's guest. I'm going to fix myself. But for now, you get to see my frozen face. Hopefully you can hear me. Somebody could say, "Hey, buddy, we can hear you," or say, "Hey, buddy, you're frozen," or "Hey, buddy, you're not frozen. You're still moving." I don't know. Buddy versus the internet is generally a problem. So, again, 401-272-3121, Providence Police Department. The FBI will be taking your tips, your whatever you got going on, whatever you happen to see. Hey, I live in the area. I got this guy on my camera. Give them a call. They're trying to like piece together a timeline. I don't know that they have any idea where this guy walked off to. It's terrible. So another thing that's pretty terrible, although not as terrible as this, was this past week in football, boys and girls. Oh God, my Miami Dolphins, they're done. They're out of it. They weren't really in it ever to begin with. We have been like, we started the season 1-6, and then we realized what we needed to do to win besides play the Jets. We started winning a few games, but it was not anywhere. They kept them in the playoff chances. They kept them in hopes a little bit, but I don't know really what kind of hopes that they had. Even if they would have won out, they would have like had to have like 8 other teams like lose everything. And yeah, internet speed test looks good. I don't know why I'm currently still frozen. I hope you're at least able to hear my beautiful voice as I talk about my abysmal Dolphins and the football week this week. So Thursday we roll things off. The LA Rams, speaking of rolling off, the LA Rams are rolling. They're on fire, but they're going to a division rival in the Seattle Seahawks, who are also rolling pretty hard. This is going to be a good way to kick off football this week. Week 16 is almost the playoff time, guys. Both of these teams are more than likely going to make it into the playoffs. LA is probably going to capture the West, and Seattle's probably going to get the wild card, given that they don't collapse. And, San Fran doesn't like rise from the ashes of, what's his name? Matt Crack Jones. Anyway, I want to, it's in Seattle. The Rams just came off like, a kooky win. The Rams are playing awesome. Their offense is great. Their defense is great. They are favored to go to the Super Bowl. I would pick them against Seattle. Don't go with the points, guys. Don't go crazy. Hey, maybe they'll win on that. Nah, just go on the money line. Take it easy. This is going to be one of those games that's probably going to be like stupid close. On Saturday, we have a special because it's the end of the season. So we have 2 games on Saturday. One of which is the what is it called? The Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to Washington, and they're taking on the hey, how you doing? They're taking on and I'm still frozen, but hopefully you can still hear me. I hear you loud and clear, but no video. Still frozen, can hear you. Thank you for letting me know. As soon as I'm done with football, guys, and you're done looking at my frozen face, I'll fix my face. Bear with me. Holy shit, the internet sucks. I hate Verizon. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I would pick Philly. They're going to Washington. While Washington won last week, they didn't really beat anybody great. They really haven't played good football, I don't know, all season, even though they were in the NFC Championship game last year. I'm sipping my beer because you can't see that, so I'm narrating this now. Washington hasn't done shit. Philly, while they've been like kind of limping around, not as amazing as they've been the last 2 seasons, they're definitely going to have no problem walking into the nation's capital and taking a big old poop on the Commanders. The Commanders aren't going to command anything this week, so go with Philly. Green Bay, and this is like a game of the week right here, guys. On a Saturday night at 8:20, you got the Green Bay Packers. Go Pack, go! Said nobody ever. Traveled to Chicago to face like. I didn't expect the Bears to be where they're at the end of the season this year. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Bears were a trash organization. I thought Caleb Williams was going to flop and fumble and eat dirt. Yeah, he really hasn't done that. And I think they're like the top of they're still the number 1 seed as they dominated the Cleveland Browns last week. Green Bay, on the other hand, got beat up by the Denver Broncos. In Denver, they take the show on the road, go to Chicago. While it is right up the road, it's going to be probably equally as cold in Chicago as it's going to be in Green Bay. I don't know, guys. I don't have a ton of faith in Jordan Love. And then what's the guy's name? Oh, the guy that came from Oakland. Yeah, Justin Jacobs. He's not blowing anybody away this year either. I'm going to go with Chicago all day, guys. and all night on Saturday night, Saturday, to beat the Green Bay, the Cheese Boys. Sunday, we kick off the fun. If you're a Pats fan, you'll be especially excited for this one. The Buffalo Billies travel to Cleveland to have a much easier victory against the Cleveland Browns. While Cleveland has a decent defense, yeah, they don't have. They're on the number 4 quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, who looks like he could be a functional quarterback somewhere down the line. They're not going to do anything against Buffalo. Pick the Buffalo Bills all day to win. The LA Chargers, while Herbert has a broken left hand or non-throwing hand, they kicked the Chiefs right out the playoffs last week, and then to boot, they took Patty Mahomes and they chased him into an ACL tear, and he's gonna be out for at least a year. So that's nice of them to do. I think they're probably not gonna destroy Dak as bad. Dak will probably put up a shit ton of points because their defense allows so many points to be scored. I expect the Chargers to do just that and go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys. The Kansas City Chiefs, I think they have Mishnu starting. Shouldn't matter though, because they're going to Tennessee, and like everybody else, they're going to take a shit and beat up on Tennessee. Kansas City. The New Jersey Jets take whatever show they got going on there. It's more of a comedy show these days. They travel to New Orleans. New Orleans beat up who they beat last week? They beat Carolina, who's division game. They're a little bit better. They were looking like they had some hope. And then they got beat up on by the Saints. Look for the Saints to do just the same against the Jets this week, who aren't doing anything at all. Minnesota travels to New York, to New Jersey. They're going to Rutherford, and they're taking on the Giants. Giants got beat up by Washington last week. Next year, when Neighbors is back, and what's his name? I forget the kid's name. The running back, when he comes back, I'll remember it like mid-show, and it'll just come out of my mouth inappropriately. When all that happens, I think the Giants are going to be a decent team, but Minnesota has a really good defense. I don't think Jackson Dart can hang tough with Minnesota. And I'm going to say Minnesota goes into New Jersey and beats up on the Giants. Tampa Bay, holy shit, they lost in Thursday Night Football last week in grand old fashion to the Atlanta Falcons. They travel to Carolina this week. Look for Tampa Bay to have a bounce back. Baker Mayfield's been making some like wild plays. Sometimes they pay off. Most of the time they don't. They still got a great team. They still are a playoff caliber team. They just got to get their heads out. They were rolling on all cylinders the first half of the season. Tampa Bay is just, I don't know if Carolina can hang. I don't know. I'd pick Tampa Bay. This next game, Cincinnati, it means nothing to either team. The Cincinnati Bungles traveled to scenic Miami to go to the beach, maybe, and they're going to play some football at 1:00, or they're going to pretend to play some football. Joe Burrows threw his chances away last week against Buffalo. Look for Cincinnati to rebound against that and beat up on the Dolphins, because it's just the thing to do. They're probably going to start Tua again. And Tua's had like one game all season where he didn't throw an interception. They looked like complete ass the other night. I mean, I'm like, it's 3-0. I mean, at halftime, we're up. But sure enough, Tua actually had a 113 passer rating, which is, he had one interception. He had 256 passing yards. He was like 22 for 28. But all of this came in the second half. And then he didn't end up doing shit with it anyway, and they lost the game. And, of course, got the inevitable kick out of the bubble, and they have no shot, not that they ever did all season, at the playoffs. I'm hoping, I don't know. I think, personally, as a lifelong Dolphins fan, I watched them tank for Tua. Then Tua came on, and Tua played for 3 years under Adam Gase, who was like somebody pooped in a paper bag, and then that was Adam Gase. And then Tua looked like shit after 3 years. I'm like, what the hell did we tank for him for? Why didn't we take Ebert? Shit. And then I guess that's what a few of the coaches said too. And then Nick Saban. And then they fired Adam Gase, which was a good day. And then they brought in Mike McDaniel. So I actually like Mike. He's a kind of a quirky cat, but people want to throw everything on Mike McDaniel. Oh, he's a shitty coach. He makes terrible plays. Boys and girls, what we don't realize is when Tua was garbage, I mean, he's kind of garbage now, but when he was like garbage 3 years into his career, like, oh God, what did we do? Mike McDaniels came in and whispered sweet nothings into Tua's ear and told him, "Hey, you're okay." And Tua was okay. He was serviceable for a few years. The concussions, then being out like 3/4 of the season, and then coming back, and we're having all this hope. And then Tyreek goes down, and it's just, I'm sorry, too, but maybe it's time to like take a break. I don't know, dude. He's just not good. I would like to see them hold on to McDaniels. Maybe McDaniels steps back, and we bring in not Dave Shula. Let's get his first name. Shula from the Rams was amazing defense. I don't know. I digress. In this one, I would pick Cincinnati because Miami's not doing shit. Their defense keeps them in games, and their offense gives games away. The Jacksonville, this is going to be another good game. Jacksonville scored a tremendous 48 points last week against the Jets because everybody else does. But they're actually going to play a real opponent this week. They're traveling to Mile High Stadium to take on the number 1 seed, the Denver Broncos. Both teams are currently in line to be in the playoffs. I think Jacksonville's at like 4, maybe the 4th seed. I think they're going to win their division. Whether or not they can beat the Broncos is, I'm not sure. The Broncos have beaten some good teams. Jacksonville has not beaten some good teams. Well, Trevor Lawrence is showing a whole lot more poise than he did earlier in the season. I still think Bo Nix is the better quarterback, and I still think Denver is. I'm going to pick, if I get a pick between Denver and Jacksonville, I'm going to definitely pick Denver at home to win the game. Atlanta at Arizona. This is another game because both of them have no playoff hopes. Arizona has Brissett throwing for them. He was like the 3rd string quarterback on the TFB here in New England. He should not be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry. He only starts because the starting quarterback in Arizona, the kid who liked to play video games, he went down and they had no other options. So they brought this kid in, and he is hot garbage. Atlanta has Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. He's okay. And they got my guy Byron. I think it's Robinson. I don't know. Anyway, he was Byron did wonders for me in fantasy football this year. I think Drake London's going to be out, but I would pick Atlanta to win this one. This nauseates the shit out of me. Let me take a sip out of my beer just because it makes me so ill. Tonight, I think it was NBC Nightly News. They were coming to us live from the city of Pittsburgh, where this newfound hero, Aaron Rodgers, oh my God, like instant diarrhea. I had to run to the bathroom. I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. I really hate Pittsburgh now even more than I did, say, before last night because they completely like pooped all over my Dolphins. They're going to travel to Detroit. This might actually be a decent game. Detroit, I think, is still on the bubble with the playoffs. Might be able to get in. Pittsburgh, they got to win to get ahead of the Ravens. I hope Detroit like takes a shovel to the face of Aaron Rodgers. I hope there's like their receivers burn the shit out of those old men on their secondary that used to play for the Dolphins. The hell with them, Jalen Ramsey. And I'm gonna, out of spite for Pittsburgh, for beating up for doing the inevitable to my Dolphins. Either way, I'm gonna hold a grudge and pick Detroit this week. You do what you need to do, boys and girls. Las Vegas, who has no luck at all for their Raiders. They're traveling to Houston to get beat up by the Texans. Take the Texans on any their defense. Their offense looks great. They're only like the 6th or the 7th seed, but I think they're gonna like kick ass in the playoffs. Game of the week, another game of the week here. The Sunday night game features some of your New England Patriots as they travel to Baltimore. Baltimore has had some ups and downs this season. There's still a nasty football team, nasty defense. They're still nasty at home. I just like to use the word nasty. Um, what else is nasty is the Patriots' inability to win against teams over 500. I've been saying it all season. It happened last week. I don't know. They couldn't get. They had a great lead against Buffalo. It was like a Christ. It was like a 21 something like that. Lead 21 nothing. It was like 24-7, I think, going into halftime. And at the end of the score, at the end of the game, I think it was like, what was it, like 34-28 Buffalo? Patriots are, I don't know. They didn't make the right adjustments. Mike Vrabel, you're not the coach of the year. I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna pick Baltimore. I picked New England last week. I'm gonna pick New England because, all right, maybe I'm gonna pick New England, right? I picked them in a parlay. I got every other game in that freaking parlay except the goddamn Patriots, and it cost me on a $5 bet. It cost me 700 and like some odd $36, I think it was. I'm gonna take Baltimore to screw New England. They're not as good as all the pink-hatted Patriots fans would like you to believe. Monday night game features the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Indianapolis. Holy shit. Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers, at 44 years old, threw a touchdown pass. They didn't win the game. They came close. It was 18-16. But holy shit, he threw a touchdown pass at 44 years old. The man hasn't stepped on the field in 5 years. He's been a high school football coach. So I thought that was nice. It showed his team, his high school team, like watching them score. They went nuts. That was heartwarming and rich. In this game, I'm going to say San Francisco is going to beat up on Phillip. Maybe he'll have the poise to show up for 2 games in a row. I don't know, boys and girls. San Francisco still has quite the team. With that wraps up sports. Baseball. It's not even my face right now. That's wonderful. Baseball. We lost the chance. We were thinking about doing Pete Alonso. Pete ended up signing with Baltimore for way more money. I'm gonna see if I can. No, I don't think I can adjust this from here. Way more money. Oh wait, what's this? Way more money. No, I'm trying to hit camera and it's just, oh, hey, there I am. Way more money. And Pete Alonso's going. Now they're looking at Bo Bichette, possibly Bo signing from Toronto. And maybe we can get the other guy back, Bregman. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think the Red Sox, hit the bed like they always do. And next year we'll be crying like we always do. I'm going to take a quick sip of my beer, guys, because, oh, man, nothing makes me more thirsty for beer on a Tuesday night than talking about my Dolphins and my Patriots. Again, Crooked Current, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, oatmeal raisin stout. She's amazing. She has the best beers ever. I'm looking forward to her cranberry orange wheat, a wheat beer in the wintertime. She doesn't follow the rules. Holy shit, I froze again. What the hell, buddy? Before I freeze again, let me bring in my co-host, the lovely and talented Jai. How you doing, Jai?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. You're moving, and I can hear you, and I'm not moving. You can hear me. All right.
It's your turn. By the way, go Steelers. Sorry about your Dolphins.
Oh, I thought you were a Steelers fan. I wasn't sure.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Do you think he's going to stick around for next season?
I'm not
Um,
sure. I don't think he is.
would you like him to stick around until next season?
Not really.
No, he's I don't really like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what it is about him. I
No.
don't know if it's like his ego or his ego. I don't know. Yeah, or his ego. I don't know. Maybe it's just an ego thing. I don't know. But anyway, good luck in what may be the playoffs for you guys.
Right.
While I hope the Ravens catch you and knock you out, it's all in good fun. Um,
Right.
so this earlier in the show, and to start the show, I talked about the Brown shootings that happened right here in Rhode Island, and some of the like the traumas that we deal with the living, not only the dead. The dead aren't so scary, honestly. For me, the living are a whole lot more scarier. People who wander around with the streets with guns and trying to hurt people, probably over like very unbalanced reasons are more scary than a ghost. So it's kind of appropriate, almost appropriate. This week's guest, kind of, because the whole trauma and her, her healing. So I'm gonna pitch this out. I'm gonna bring her in. I'm gonna bring her on, Jai. I'm gonna bump out and I'm gonna bump back in. You can just start things off. Does that sound good?
That's fine with
All
me.
right, fantastic. Hopefully everything works for you. Joining us this evening, she's the founder of Sacred Grow Wellness and creator of the Sacred Glow Foundation. She's a holistic healer, spiritual guide, and transformative storyteller. As a doula, meditation teacher in training, and intuitive mentor, she helps women and mothers release trauma, reclaim their power, and reconnect with the divine blueprint. I love it already. Drawing from somatic healing, womb wisdom, root chakra work, and her signature sacred glow approach, she blends spirituality with practical empowerment to support deep, lasting change. She is a dedicated mother, a content creator, and a voice for conscious parenting, nervous nervous setting healing, and feminine liberation. With her grounding presence and radiant authenticity, she brings clarity, empowerment, and high vibration to every space she enters. Let's hope she can do the same for us. Please welcome to the show, Alicia Brown. Hey,
Hey,
Alicia,
Alicia,
how
how
you
you
doing?
doing?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me fine?
Yes, we
I
can
Yes,
we
hear
can
we
hear
you.
you
can
and
hear
see
you
you
and see you
fine.
fine.
I am
I am
screwed up, so
screwed
I'm
up,
gonna
so I'm
bump
gonna
out
bump
and I'm
out,
gonna
and I'm
leave
gonna
you
leave
with
you
Jai for a
right for
minute.
a minute.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, all right. See you
See
later.
you later.
How you
How you
doing?
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh,
Much
now I
Now
better
I
can't
can't
hear
hear
too.
you.
you.
You can't hear me?
Can't hear
Can't
you.
hear.
Um,
Okay.
Okay.
hold on.
Anyways, we're
Anyways,
having
we're having
a
a
few little technical difficulties. We're gonna get everything straight here. Give us just 1 minute,
Can you hear me
and we'll
now?
have it all set up. No, I cannot. Sometimes you have to go out and come back in
Okay, so just go out.
once you put the headphones on. Okay, she's gonna go out and come back in. Um, Buddy's been talking about his football, and now that he's not on here, I can talk about the Dolphins. The Dolphins suck. I'm so glad Pittsburgh Steelers beat them. But coming up here, we have this young lady that's going to be talking to you, and she's going to be telling you about her business as well as how she goes about working with different people, what she does for them. Um, so she'll be back on just shortly. Just give it a minute. It looks like Buddy's having technical difficulties as well. So we'll have to wait and see till Buddy gets back on to realize that he has to let her back in on the show. So, anyways, um, I know that it's paranormal time. So maybe I'll share a paranormal moment with you. There was one time growing up where I was a little kid and my mom was washing clothes and all of a sudden she screamed. We grew up in a haunted house for 14 years and she screamed. And could you bring her back on, please?
Sure thing. Can you hear me? I'm just frozen still. I'm gonna take my camera off because this is bullshit.
And oh, here we go. Okay, so
Hi.
the end of my story was there was blood in the washing machine. So now we're back live with Alicia. Um,
Can
we can
can
hear
you hear
you
me now?
fine.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. All right. Good.
Oh, there we go. All right, I'm moving.
Yeah,
You can hear me. You can
we
see me.
can't
I'm
hear
good.
you, buddy.
You can't hear me
Yeah.
now.
We're
Oh,
having a moment
I
today.
can hear you. I can hear him.
you can hear
You
me,
can?
Yes.
Okay, I
and she
can't.
can't. This has been
That's
a
weird.
problem. And here goes my camera again. All right, I'm just gonna talk. I guess. I
That's
don't know.
weird. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this again. All right, Guy, go ahead.
But I can hear you.
It's all the
Okay,
energy.
so say something again.
Yeah, I said it's all the energy going
When he
on.
cuts off, you're
Oh,
I can't hear you anymore.
okay.
We're having serious technical difficulties tonight. I do apologize for that. We'll get it straight. But this lady right here, she helps me doing a lot of stuff. Um, she's taught me about the chakra system, and she just helps me to stay rooted and grounded, and I appreciate her for that. So that's why we wanted to have her on the show so she can talk about her business and everything that's exciting about her life that she wants to share. I'm sorry that we don't have volume right now. So our audio is out, and I'm just trying to sit in here and fill in it for the moment. So yeah, if this doesn't work this week, we might have to do it again because we definitely want to get you fully on here properly, but we'll see what's going on. Hopefully he'll be back soon. It looks like he's having more problems than I am. Last week I was having problems. I couldn't get online for nothing.
Okay.
So this week it's him. I wish I could hear you. There's
Hello.
can you check and make sure there's no mute on?
There's no mute
No
on.
mute.
No
Okay.
mute.
Okay. There's so much to talk about and can't talk about much of it.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what you do as a doula.
Okay.
Why don't you know what? Why don't you go ahead and answer? Maybe the others can hear you. Maybe I can't.
Can anybody else hear me out there? I do have a friend listening, and I don't know if she's still listening. But a doula, for anyone that can hear, and I'll repeat it again, is someone that's there to help a woman through their childbirth process or the family, but mainly to support that woman and her team. And if she has no team, the doula becomes that support system, that advocate for the woman that is given birth as well. So I don't know if anybody can hear me. But my name is Alicia Brown. And yeah, so we're hoping Buddy comes back soon to
Just share
see.
whatever you'd like to share.
Okay.
Take it over.
Um, okay. Let me see. Let me see if I have another phone. I could actually go into the phone. I was trying to see if we could go in and see if we could hear it, but I think it's paused. Okay, people can hear me. People can hear me. People. Okay. So since it's recording, a doula, as I said, is a woman that not a woman, a person. It could be a man or woman that supports the mother during birth, and not only the mother, but her loved ones, her spouse, her children, even. Sometimes mothers don't have somebody to watch their other children while they have to go give birth, and the doula could fill in that way. A doula could help the woman learn different positions that she can have a baby in. And nonetheless, a doula is an advocate. I am an advocate for other women, especially women in trauma, based type of situations, meaning, they probably had bad birth experiences before, and they're now here to renew and encounter different experiences. I can advocate for them. Sometimes the doctors don't listen to you as a woman, and sometimes as a melanated woman, they don't really give you a chance, an opportunity to voice your opinion and to stand up for yourself. So a doula comes in as an advocate to tell them this patient doesn't want an epidural, this person doesn't want, or they do want. So that's what I do as a doula. Other than that, I am a mom as well myself to a 11-year-old boy. Um, I just opened up Sacred Glow Wellness in Pennsylvania as well. Sacred Glow Wellness is here to support us mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually as well. A well-rounded, a well-grounded sacred establishment. It is not a physical place yet, but it is a virtual, and in the future plans to expand itself into other directions. But for now, this is what we do. We do sound healing, we do chakra healing, chakra information, we do twerk yoga as well. So we're adding a little bit of dance flavor with the twerking and movements. As well, I have a podcast and I am on social media. My social media is Miss MZLEECLOVE, Miss Lisi Love, on TikTok and Instagram. In my Instagram and TikTok, you can look into my bio, the Beacons app, and I have all of my different podcasts and such of those things in there in that link if you're interested. I also am housing 22 stray cats. So they have their own TikTok page, Cats Love Me 222. If you ever feel like you want to donate to them, give them some food, give them adopt a virtual cat is what I'm doing as well. I do homeschool as well. I love to cook. I love poetry. And I don't know if Buddy's coming back. So I don't know if Ja can hear me. She can't hear me still. So yeah, I don't know. Um,
Let me ask you a question.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
What what caused you to start your business?
Okay, so what caused me to start my business? Ever since a young child, I was able to read people. Um, I used to call it tell you about yourself. Like, you want me to tell you about yourself? That's what I would say. Obviously, I didn't know that. I knew it was something because you had movies and stuff that came out, but you wouldn't think that you would be able to do something such as that. So I would, not everybody, but a few close people, I'd be like, you want me to tell you about yourself? And I just start telling them things without any cards or anything, telling them about themselves and like their personality or what they're going through in their situation at that time, and they usually are like in awe and in wow. But during COVID, just like everybody else, a lot of people were activated fully, and I was one of the people to just realize, yeah, I'm gonna definitely help people with telling them about what they could heal about themselves to make themselves a more healthier person, a more spiritual person. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? I'm sorry, this might happen again. I can't stand the internet. I'm sorry.
I'm going out and coming back in.
Yeah, I was talking. I don't know if you all can hear me now. Okay,
Oh,
she's gonna come out. Oh, I was in here talking up a storm.
yeah. So you founded this organization, your virtual. I heard about the cat.
Mhm.
I had kind of had my phone on as I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay, 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 okay.
muster
Hmm.
through this. Hold on, here comes Jai again. As we bear with us as we both have internet issues.
I
Um,
can hear
Hey.
we
everybody
are the
now.
ghost and the goat of the internet issues. Anyway, so do you have any license? Are you licensed for any wellness? Are
So,
you licensed for any therapeutic services? Or you just do this as through your
so,
medium?
so for the doula, I am licensed to be a doula, as well as a breath of fire coach. I have a
Yes.
life certification for that
Hmm.
as well. It's certifications that I have.
Yep.
Um, So for the breath of fire, which is like Kundalini healing, breath work, I do have a certification. For the doula, I have a certification. For my practice, as far as reading the oracles, doing the tarot, doing the
Right.
sound healing, that's just embedded
Right.
in
That's
my
just yeah. That's
DNA.
yeah. That's something you do. Now,
Um,
well, I'm sorry. Let me another question for
okay,
you before we delve into all your
okay.
different services and stuff.
Mhm.
Are you do you are you a medium? Are you
So.
spiritual? How does it work?
So yeah, so I am a spiritualist. You would say a health and wellness. You could say a coach.
Yeah, that's fine.
intuitive coach. There's so many names. I was actually playing with what's the title, oracle, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is, oracle readings, tarot readings, sound healing, chakra systems,
Yeah.
information on that. I'm really a person about healing the nervous system and things like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm all sprinkle me all over the healing platform
Right.
everywhere.
Right. And now, so you work in trauma. I noticed that was one of the things
Yeah.
that you mentioned in your bio. What trauma, like human trauma or spiritual trauma or a little bit of both?
So to me, it all rolls into one avatar at the end of the day. I feel like we all experience trauma in one form or another. I was actually trying to, or in the middle of getting a certification for like trauma courses. It's
Mm-hmm.
online though, so I was in the mix of it just to add that to my my other labels.
Your
But
repertoire. Yeah.
when it comes to trauma, just everyday trauma. We are all having to spend $5, $10 for eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Right.
something we all deal with on a collective scale. So
Mm-hmm.
I am usually here speaking about the collective. I love to include the collective, no matter if you're a believer or not a believer. We're all living on the planet together,
Oh,
no,
for sure.
nonetheless. Of course, I'm here for my woman first because I'm a woman, but
Yeah.
I'm here for all of us. We all come from the women anyways, right? So I'm here for all of
Right.
us in total. Um, yeah, did I answer the
Yeah. For the
question?
I'm myself. I'm in a master's program to be a mental health counselor. I've been working in mental health field for about 25 years. I the holistic side of it, I'm all about that. I'm all about. I have an aunt who's a licensed social worker, and she adds like um Reiki to her practice. I think that's
Hmm.
wonderful. I think that's a wonderful angle because you're supposed to
Definitely.
embrace the whole spirituality side of things. Whether people
Right.
are like Christian or Muslim or Jewish
Whatever they
or pagan for that matter, so that kind of like and I myself have had Reiki 3 times now. The first session blew my mind. How
hmm
like honestly, I had been on an investigation the night before. I went and I had with a student of my aunt's, and I had a Reiki session with her, and she's like, just close your eyes and put yourself in a calm place. And that's right, I put myself in this place that I go like a boy strip in the middle of nowhere, like I serenity, peace, the middle of
hmm
the middle of the woods, and like I heard my grandfather's voice. Now my grandfather died when I was like 12 years old, right? And I'm 46, so you can do the math. But I
hmm
mean, it's been some time since I remember what his voice even sounded like. And in that moment, when
Mhm.
I was like, I was transformed almost in my mind to that place, that calming place, to like the pool that he used to swim in. He used to be in the backyard of this house that I'm in now. So he used to
mm
swim in this pool like religiously, do his laps. And I
Oh
remember
wow.
like waking up and like seeing the sky as the sky would look with these trees that I remember it and him swimming back and then him talking to me and hearing his voice in my head and remembering that like that's this man's voice. I don't know if it's spiritual. I don't know if it was the Reiki tapping something into my brain, but honestly, I went years without remembering what his voice sounded like. And he was such an influential person in the earlier half of my life. I never remembered what he sounded like. And I did after the first Reiki session. The second one, not so much. However, in the moment, but afterwards, I noticed my own like third eye kind of
hmm
like brushed off a little bit,
Activating.
and
Hmm
I could see things a little bit more clearly. Like where I used to see shadows, I could now see people. Not all the time though, but I saw every now and
For the
again.
most.
I'll see a guy, be like, huh, or I'll see like a woman, huh, and then they're gone. But it's like I'm looking at like a person. So, and then this last time I just had it a couple of weeks
Hmm
ago. Amazing, just absolutely, just like I had a lot of like stress, a lot of shit going on from work, a lot of like built up, and it was just like
hmm
it just like erased all that shit. I just
hmm
felt like I was like at peace. So I
hmm
think there's absolutely 110% something to Reiki, energy work, Qigon, whatever style that you're into. I think it's awesome.
And
Um,
congratulations to those breakthroughs and those, small initiations to your own true self, right? Your own
Right.
remembrance of your encoding, right? Your grandfather, the root
Mhm.
of your family, and an aspect of it. But from my when you talk about Reiki, I love Reiki. I
Mhm.
do not have a certification in Reiki,
Mhm.
but I am like in that indigenous world of, or that world of, I already do that. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I do it without spoken to a person to teach me. Like, I'm a person that, for instance, my son, he has a cold, had a cold or whatever. I
Mhm.
literally put my hand, some olive oil. I do the herbs. I do it myself, the natural. Put the oil on my hands, put it on
Mhm.
him, and I literally take out that fever out of his
Yep.
body.
Mhm.
Like literally take it out. And I've done it before. Thank the Lord he doesn't get sick. Like he's not like a person that gets sick all the time. So
Right.
I'm thankful. But like, even if someone has a pain, and that was my first time that I realized, oh, you can't play with this, right? Because imagine how many other times before my realization that I heal somebody's pain just by touching them,
Yep.
and I didn't realize, oh, I have a pain on me today. So I've done that to someone and I took the pain out of their body. They didn't have the pain anymore when they woke up. But guess what? I woke up with
It's
the pain in the
it's
same
with
You
you.
spot that
got it.
they had it.
Right.
I was like,
I've
I
actually
did
heard
that
about that
before.
where like somebody will be doing Reiki and like they'll pick up on a spirit that's with that person. And then later on they're home and
that's
that
him.
spirit is like with them.
Trying to talk to you. That's why
Right.
you have to wash the body, wash the area, cleanse yourself,
Mhm.
even though
Mhm.
we know. Um, and when you were speaking of your grandfather, and so I am a channel in itself. I don't really need the decks and stuff. I love them
Yeah.
because people love to see. It's just like a mind thing.
Right.
Seeing is believing. But
Right.
in totality, I really could just
And
sit and
it's like
see.
very coincidental sometimes how the cards
It's
land.
beautiful
It's like,
sometimes, like
holy
most of the
shit!
time.
Like how the
Right,
like she's calling in my head with these cards. It's like what the It's
right.
unbelievable. But
So,
yeah, it's visual. It's like the bells and the lights with all the paranormal shit. Everybody like ooh, and they
right.
don't even
But
know how to react.
imagine talking and not, just like you said, a channeler. Like,
Yeah.
I could do the channeling as well without pulling the cards, and then you still looking at me like, was you looking in my window or what? Like,
Yeah. Right.
what's
Right.
happening here? But even with your grandfather, I was just gonna say, you could even go to that pool. It's in your home, and give a little reverence to it, a little, like a little
The pool's
candle.
the pool. I tore down the pool years ago because it was
Okay, it doesn't matter. It was there though. It was
yeah. Right.
there. It was the energy was on the land. So
Yep.
he's probably just saying, you could go pour a little lot. Now since there's nothing there, you could pour some your favorite beer or his favorite cigar, like smoke, like
Yeah.
right,
Right.
pour it right on the land and share it. And I bet you,
It's actually
so
it's part of my I have a bunch of garden boxes,
oh,
vegetation.
beautiful. That's
So
even
that
more beautiful.
yeah, it has some flowers and some herbs, and I have my
And
veggies
I
and
bet you
stuff.
they're growing lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, the corn bed was awesome for like the first 2 years, and then the trees overgrew and I got a lot of sunlight. But yeah, I do have a really good garden out there, so I'm fortunate for that. So now you're big. I know one of the pieces in your bio is also feminism, liberation, which is awesome. One of the this is something that like I've just observed my years of like working with mediums and ghosts and dead people and whatnot. It seems like to me that most mediums that I work with, honestly, out of all the mediums I work with as an investigator, all of them are women. More than like I'd say 90% of the women, or 90% of the mediums I have on this show are women. The men that I know who are mediums are a little feminine. Is it more of a feminine thing, Alicia? Is it something that women or somebody with a more effeminate nature is more prone to or more open to? What are your thoughts?
So it's Alicia. I know.
Oh,
I know.
Alicia,
Everybody
sorry.
thinks Alicia Keys. Trust
I
me.
say it
Trust
too.
me.
I'm sorry. I'm from New
It's,
England. I mess up everybody's name.
look, it's all my life. So don't mind. But
Alicia. I'm sorry. Okay.
Alicia, yeah,
It's
the
pretty.
cats are literally knocking on the door. But but in that category, I will say that, oh my gosh, even if we go back to like thinking about the Salem witch trial,
Right.
it wasn't only women there.
No, no, there were
There
men
were men.
also, but
So,
honestly,
but now in 2025, I understand the question, is it more just feminine? I feel like I've seen some masculine energy reading in their
mhm,
masculine tone. I feel
okay,
like but you see the world will push a certain agenda, you know what I
mhm,
mean?
of course,
And then remember, wherever your alignment in the social media world is, it's going to push more of that on the page. You know
yeah,
what I'm trying to say? But I try to stay clear. Man, I love some of the readers that I see on the YouTubes and things of that
yep,
sort, but it's such a it's I've learned a big lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
it's such a crucial thing to be mindful of what
mhm,
you're listening to. Why? Who's this person? What they got going on in their life? Not
mhm,
that it matters that this person has to be holier than thou, or but there's an
right,
alignment. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Hmm.
And
yeah,
sometimes it's like rather if it's man or woman, I feel like we should be really careful as the readers. You could People have the power with their readings to go make somebody be mad at their spouse. That's
mhm,
something they didn't even do. Like, you
right,
know what I mean? Like, because it's
complete
so personal.
misinterpretation, right,
Right.
right,
So I really pride myself on not doing that. Because
mhm,
I could see it's so easy to pull a card and say, yeah, he might be cheating. Oh, was he out late? Like,
uh,
oh shit, might be
yeah,
got it. Like, it's so easy to bait
pushing
somebody
people,
in
yeah,
with
pushing
that.
people down those roads, right? Or
Hmm.
like,
Have
oh,
people getting divorced
I
and
see a
stuff.
mother, I see a mother figure. Of course you're gonna like if somebody's like over like
Right.
40, there's a chance that their mother's dead. And if they
Right.
come into a medium, there's a chance that they've lost somebody recently. Um,
Right. So
so
vulnerable.
yeah, exactly. You're very vulnerable. So I get those type of readings. But then it's like the other ones where it's like the medium doesn't ask you anything. They come like right up to your face and they just tell you shit. That there
You
is
know,
no way that you know this because it happened between me and somebody else.
mhm.
How the hell do you know? You know, it's that kind of shit. Just
sometimes
like
sometimes it's real, right? And I'm not saying that it's not real at all. Like I'm just saying it always depends on your boundaries with these people. Like you know what I
true,
mean?
Right.
Because
true.
we just don't want to take. It's easy to project something.
Yep.
Now if someone's literally coming up to you and saying, I know you got the ruby ring in your pocket. Make sure when you give the ruby ring to the person, give it on their right hand and they can have fortune. Imagine now, this could
Hmm.
be true. You got the ruby ring in your pocket and everything, but how do you know this person's intention now?
Right.
Now
Mm.
you always put the ring on the the left hand. Now this person's saying put on the right hand first. Who am I going to listen to, myself or the person? Like you know what I mean? Because now it's a
Hmm.
debate now that comes in. Like who will I choose? So
Right.
it's just
Right.
like, anyone coming to you should come with some respect too, right? I'm going to
Of course.
respect to not confuse you, not to
Hmm.
bring you more burden in a bigger situation. I'm here to help you,
Right.
not make you feel
Right.
like, oh my God, if I don't pick this, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
The
Right.
repercussion, so I'm just saying this boundaries is not a game. And
Hmm.
I don't want to read just anybody either. I don't want to just read any because it takes my energy to have to read somebody.
Oh yeah, I
That's
bet.
me
Hmm.
taking my love and my time. I am not going to people in the corner store. If I go
Right.
up to somebody in the store, I'm gonna be like, may you have a blissful day. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna make them walk out feeling like they was walking on air, like, oh my God. Like, I'm not gonna go into their business. Like now there's people out there that might have even stronger gifts that could say someone has blood issues in your family, but I'm not gonna just go up to that's just a
Right.
hard thing to
That's
do,
weird.
like,
That's weird to listen to have some stranger
right?
approach you in the market. Like, hey, your father
if
called, and he's like, "You gotta watch that blood sugar level guy." Like, what the fuck?
if I could say
What?
something, I have that gift, and one thing that you'll learn about that is that when you're supposed to say something to somebody, it will nag you until you do it. Like it
Okay.
will bother you, bother you, bother you. And finally, you're like, look, I'll just take the chances and talk to the person. But then you realize once you start doing it, you realize I do have the gift. You got to stop doubting it.
Mhm.
And you're doubting it when you're afraid to go to somebody, it's causing doubt. And you don't want
Mm.
that doubt in your life either. Just thought I'd
And
throw
that's
that in.
that's what I'm saying. There's real people with the real gift out there, but
100%.
that real person is gonna have that way to handle it, address it. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be
Right.
invasive or like try
Right.
to like
Right.
they're gonna have these words. You feel
Mhm.
me?
Mm-hmm.
This thing
Right.
about them that's gonna make it seamless in a way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying too. But definitely, I agree to
For
speak
sure.
with
Does
you.
you're so you see, you hear, you feel. What's
I
your clear?
do. It's honestly, I know I have clear cognizance for sure. I have a lot of it I can smell, but it's not always all at once. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you're going through a state in life where you're only supposed to smell or you're only supposed to know the answer rapidly or you know what I mean? You maybe you're
Mhm.
seeing things. I went through points where I was seeing my fairies in the corner of my
No
eyes,
shit.
right?
No
Playing
shit.
games, and I'm like, am I going crazy up in here? Like, because these are situations that could be like, OMG, like no one's gonna believe this one. Like,
Right. Right. People barely believe in
so
ghosts. So I mean, yeah,
right.
if you tell them there's fairies in the corner, they might be like, "Hey, why don't you come with me to this hospital here for a few
Yeah.
And
days?"
I call them ancestors per se,
Yep.
right? Or spirits or energies. Um, because that's just literally what they are.
Mhm.
In my Buddhism practice, I
Mhm.
also became an call teacher. So a call is a chant, and like when people transition off the earth, there's people that leave in heartache. And remember the movie Ghost back in the
Yeah.
day? Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So with Ghost, we saw that he didn't just leave, right? They came
Right.
for him. He stayed because he wanted to. There's a billion of other ancestors and spirits on this that's in grief, and they's like, we're not leaving until. So the call, when I chant it, it allows them to transition off of this realm. I
Mhm.
don't tell them where to go or what to do, but just for them to realize they have another mission.
Right.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be tethered here. So that's one of the things that in the Buddhism world that I was so happy because I like to learn different things from different places, different
Yes.
cultures, because it all comes into one beautiful big ball. While others are fighting over it, I'm putting that joint together, making
Right.
a masterpiece,
They
right?
all have they all have a wonderful thing to say here and there,
Exactly.
right? Yeah. Exactly.
In
And
their own ways.
did you study with monks, or
Not
did I
monk. It was
dream
just
that?
not monks, but I had a Buddhist teacher.
Ooh.
Her
Okay.
name was actually Jayanan, and she taught us the breath work, and I even was speaking Sanskrit in these different rooms. It was on Clubhouse. I don't know if you ever heard of that
Mm-hmm.
place, another social media app, but it's just your voice. So
Mm-hmm.
it was big at one point during COVID, but on that
Mm.
app I was learning how to speak Sanskrit.
Wow.
Ask me if I know how to say anything right now. I don't. I
It's
even
fucking
woke up
ancient.
even in my dreams, I woke up one night speaking some Sanskrit words. I'm like,
Wow.
what in the world? But it was
Wow.
beautiful. It was beautiful as I was in the moment. But
Mhm.
nothing lasts forever. Yeah. So.
Right.
Share with us, what are some of the objects that you use as
Ooh.
far as for like your bowls and whatnot?
Oh
So
yeah.
I have my sound bowls, of course. My you have your tarot cards, which would be like, the tarot stays the same that everybody uses, like the Empress card, that's the tarot. But I also like oracle cards, which is
Mhm.
just the words on it. It's nothing but a picture and a word, like, like this. And I like the oracle more because I'm clear cognizant, so I could just hear. Like it's as if I'm having communion with your ancestor or whoever it is, like you know what I mean, to commune back to you. So I like it to be just just a few words that's for me to deal with. I don't have to deal with the pressure of okay, I know the empress means the queen, like you know what I mean? It's more like this has a meaning for
Right.
sure, for sure. I used to have pendulums as well.
Mhm.
I don't use them all the time, but I buy everything.
Yep.
So I have the pendulums. I even had the sticks at one point, just testing them out. I was just curious, the
Crazy.
landline.
Crazy,
Yeah.
Right.
crazy.
Um, what else? I love to do, baths and stuff like that.
Mm.
Candle, my burning my candles, but never on anybody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Only thing I would tell somebody to light a candle if they want to improve their self-love or their chakra system
Right.
or things of that, but never to attack people. I don't believe in that at all.
But it's
Um,
possible. You think it's possible?
that's what I'm saying. It's possible, and
Yeah,
that's the choice
yeah.
I choose not to go down that
Put
route.
your
I'm not.
awful intentions into a doll, and
People,
yeah,
that's why I'm saying we need to be careful who we listen to, right? Because
right,
even that
Hmm.
is a big intention in of itself, Rather we're
right.
talking about spirituality or regular life. Somebody come to your office every day and they saying, "Man, you're gonna have a downfall with that one, brother. It's not gonna work."
Hmm.
Every day they come tell you that shit. You better stop that. You better run. Like, don't talk to me no more. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Right.
I had an investigator come in and use like a pendulum, and it's like
Okay.
when I first saw the pendulum being used, I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
you're probably like manipulating that with your fingers. So the woman took the pendulum and she was like this, she's using it, and me and the other investigator were like this, right? And I did not see her fingers move.
Mm-mm.
Not only did I not see her fingers move, her hand stayed still the whole time, and that thing would swing in one direction
Hmm.
for one answer, and then they're like, "Spirit, if that's you, make it stop." And then bam, it would stop, or make it swing
Hmm.
the other direction. We have it on film. It's spinning around
Hmm.
like this, and then just like suddenly just starts going like this. Like holy shit, that's incredible. The dowsing rods. I saw
Right.
somebody use them once on a public investigation, and honestly, I thought he was full of shit. I thought it was just like too obvious of an answer. I had another guy like who was a reputable investigator from this area using dowsing rods, and you can see his fingers manipulating. Like so, I
Oh
always was
no.
like,
Yeah.
no
Terrible.
bullshit. But then I saw Sarah G. Jai, you know Sarah. You know Sarah
Yes.
G. Right? So she was
Hmm.
on an investigation with me probably about a month ago, and she's holding like them by the collar, the collar that goes around the metal rod.
Right.
She's like, look, it's not even. I'm not manipulating the rods at all. And they're spinning one way, and then she's like, make them stop and spin it, and then they start spinning. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Hmm.
I've always been like, if it's a thing, I'm willing. I'm open minded. I'm
Hmm.
skeptical, but I'm open minded. I'm willing to believe. But holy shit,
Can
for
I
that to
say,
happen,
hmm
please.
can I say, if I took a tea bag that I'm going to dip into my tea right now,
Hmm.
before I dip it though, and I look at it and I tell it, go side to side long enough, any of us do it, it's going to start happening.
Yep.
The thing is that one, with the rods or anything pendulism or anything like that, you gain a relationship with it, just like a person does with their deck,
Right with
of
anything.
cards
Right
or
with anything.
anything, right? They're
Right.
gonna gain this relationship. The thing is though that we could do telekinesis, right? That you can make
Okay.
objects move too.
That's definitely a thing.
So
That is definitely
so
a
we
thing.
have to also know, do you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it is no matter which way you put it to me, and I'm just being real and
It's
honest
it's
as I
it's
am.
good to have that skeptical opinion, though. I
Right.
prefer
Right.
that.
Like
Right?
it's gonna be because when you think of it, if we all could do telekinesis long enough and look at something long enough and make our minds tell it to go right, go left. It's not that the person is subconsciously is consciously doing it. It's like a subconscious,
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
So
Carl Jung had this whole thing into the subconscious connection with the universe. I definitely think
okay.
it's a thing. It's studied at universities
Mm-hmm.
today.
It
So
is a
people's like,
thing.
oh, that's bullshit. No, it's kind of not bullshit.
It's it's
It's
just the fine tuning. It's the fine tuning between, is your ego released enough to
yeah.
be able to let it to be
Hmm.
purified in another higher power that we want it to be in the best highest power? Because sometimes people think they're talking to the highest energy when it could be a lowest energy
Right.
as well as in communication. You don't wouldn't know.
Trying to trick
Right.
you or whatever, or
You
make
know what
you.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? So that's why it comes back. I keep on going back to, we have to like be for ourselves, because what's for me might not be for you.
True.
right? What's for you might not be for me. Maybe when I pick up a full bottle of water and I see bubbles, that means my ancestors around. When you see bubbles, it means, ooh, they're stirring in the water somewhere. You know what I'm trying to say? It could
Right.
mean so many
Right.
things. So for people to say that people can't judge people is what I'm saying at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. But we also not that know that there's a reality too, and that
Mm-hmm.
there's a spiritual reality, and there's the highest power in total
Right.
of it all.
Yep.
So yeah.
Not everybody's real or out for the right reason, out to help
Right,
you
you
for the
know,
right
so you
Holy
reason.
gotta,
shit! Unfortunately, yes, that is so
and that's
true.
Right.
anywhere, right?
Right.
Anywhere we go,
Any profession, any
endeavor.
non-profession like
Yeah.
paranormal investigating, or I don't know, where you go into somebody's home, and you're trying to
That's a
like
big thing.
promote the field, or you're trying to promote yourself, and
Right.
it just never ends well. Like when
How
you
do you put? How do you guys protect yourself after you do like home visits and things? Like, what do you? Is there anything? I know you're supposed to ask me the
so
questions, but
me
That's
personally,
okay.
I have spirits that I like to ask for help,
okay,
that
okay,
have helped me I believe have helped me in the past,
yes,
that
hmm
understand when they were alive what I do, and I think they still kind of stick with me.
I
So I
love
asked for
it.
that. I've asked for, I'm not actively practicing Catholic, but I was raised Catholic, so Saint Michael has always
Okay,
been the saint to protect
that's
against,
fine.
the negative stuff.
Hmm.
So to some degree, I got to say, hey,
You have your
Saint Michael,
team.
hey Mike, come with me while I'm going in here, dude. Before I leave, anyway. Not that I know that it's actually a thing, but I tell everybody. I honestly, I think 90% of the time I'm talking just to people. So I'm like, hey,
Hmm.
you're not allowed to come with me. You're not allowed to follow me. You don't
Yes,
have to stay here, but you can't come
Right.
home with me. All right.
yes, yes, yes.
And I try and
You
make that abundantly clear to any spirit. Like I say, I think
you have to.
I do
It
believe in
works.
negative entities for sure, but I don't think they're as
Yes.
common as people like to say they are. I don't know. I might be wrong.
It
Thoughts?
depends on your own personal energy if those
Yeah.
negative energies come.
Right.
When you have a little
Right.
bit more pure energy, you're gonna see more of the pure forms hanging
Mm,
around, right? But that is
true.
good.
Mhm.
I love that. I love to hear that. That it's needed. Make sure you continue to do that because you really don't know where you're going, and some spirits are upset. You know,
Right.
imagine even ancestors before ancestors that went through. Remember, like even women that had to be back in the day, like they took away their bodily parts because they were imagine. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine some of the shit that man has done to each
Mhm.
other in the
But
course
the
of
It's
people
humanity's
sad.
being
history.
here still right, still
Right.
wanting, some sort of like acknowledgement. So
I hate
that
this.
lead hmm
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say I hate to say it, but nowadays you expect more the bad from people than the good anymore.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I met Buddy today as Buddy. I don't know Buddy for yesterday, and I
No,
don't know Buddy for tomorrow, but I know Buddy right now. I
my
don't know what
internet's
his
working right now too. So I mean,
okay. Look at that.
that's a
The
good side of
energy has
Buddy.
look. The energy has cleared, honey. Now,
Definitely, definitely.
so no, but like I feel like you gotta give the person. I give a person a chance and then it
I
will be
do too,
revealed to
but
me in
Hmm.
time. I know it's scary though, right? Because the mind then
right.
comes up and is like, should I, shouldn't I? Well, yesterday I gave that other woman this chance, or man, and man, they
Boundaries,
stepped on my toe. But
boundaries.
Right.
Right.
boundaries.
Mm.
So
It's huge, but
Think
yeah,
with everything,
it is
boundaries
definitely
are
scary though.
important.
It's yeah, it's totally scary because
but we want to be up. We want to be positive. We want to know that everything that comes around us is for our best intention. Even a person that stepped on my toe, maybe I needed to wake up about that situation before I
Right.
entered my new level of my going up. You know what I mean?
yep.
So
Um,
Right.
before we continue, is this your website where people can find things about you? You see on the bottom there. Is that you?
I did create a website, but I don't think that one is mine.
Okay. All
Uh-oh.
right.
So
But what I
It
do,
had the same like imagery. That's
I
why I kind
seen
of said,
that. And I
okay.
think it's such a common name too that
okay.
that glad.
All right.
When like buying a car, you didn't see nobody with the car until you bought the car. Now everybody, you see it everywhere.
Everybody has
That's
it.
what
Right.
happened.
Right.
So
Do you have a website people can find you on?
I
I guess
don't
you
have
want
a
to
website, but I do have social media at this
Mm-hmm.
time and the emails.
Okay.
My social media is Miss Lisi Love.
Oh,
um, which is MZLEECLOV. So some people say Miss Clove. I don't know. All
Yeah,
my
that's what
names,
I
people
say.
call me something different,
hmm.
I always
but
call you
it's
Miss
Miss
Lee Clove.
right. So Miss Lisi Love, on TikTok and on Instagram,
All right.
and
I
this is
didn't want to. I didn't want to cut the show off right here and end it
okay.
or anything. I just had that. And I was gonna plug that, but if
Okay.
you
Yeah.
have your
Thank you,
socials,
though.
check her out on social.
Yeah.
This I have running right now. This guy's is the GoFundMe page for the Brown University shooting for the
Okay.
victims, for the people
Um,
involved. So I mean, you know,
sorry
usually
about
give it a
that,
go.
by the
Yeah.
way.
Sending out
Prayers
healing
for
to
the
It's
everybody.
families.
terrible.
Hmm.
It's terrible. I wish they would find the guy, honestly, because it's a little unnerving driving like
Right.
around the state of Rhode Island with this guy might be still in Rhode Island. I mean, he could be in New Mexico, but he could be
Right.
like
But he
right
could
up the
still
road in
be
Johnston too. So I mean, kind of scary, you know.
right,
Anybody
especially
who's
you
going to
live
walk into
there.
a school and just like execute an 18 and a 19-year-old innocent people and then just like walk away like it's not. I don't know. There's just something probably not right about these
Sad.
people. So it's
Definitely.
Um,
definitely horrible. So like to shoot people to that link if they could throughout tonight's
Mm-hmm.
show. So
To help out.
that's
Hmm.
cool. Sounds good.
okay. Please
So
do.
how would you, Alicia? How would you like address a traumatic issue like something like this? Somebody like school shootings. We had a girl in at Brown, and this is her second school shooting, which blows
Mm.
my mind because I grew up at a time where Columbine was the first one, and of course I was
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
well through high school when that happened. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Hmm.
really have to deal with this 20 years ago. How would you
Right.
help somebody like going through this kind of trauma?
Honestly, the best thing in my mind would be first to listen to them,
Hmm.
right? Because my perspective is my own from not even being there, right? So I
Right.
could be overly, oh my gosh, or underly, like, you know what I mean? I would need to see the specific person because each person there had, of course, a collective feeling, but still an internal different
Yeah, everybody
mindset.
perceived it
First.
differently
Um,
and was
but
affected
but
Hmm.
differently.
but even if I didn't speak to anyone physically or virtual or anything on my own, what I love to do is when I go live on my TikTok or wherever I am, I love to, energize, do some EFT tapping, and then create this big ball of light, especially on my own when I go outside or whatever the case is, when I get that
Hmm.
big urge. And I send this light all around the globe of Mother Earth. If either she be round or flat, honey, however she shapes, I send the energy out and I really ask that the energy shines into those darkest rooms,
Hmm.
of the earth, which is the people that are really in need, that need a prayer. I know how it is to be in a hospital as well. And, like even when I pass the hospital,
Hmm.
like I'm literally so I say weird, but it's beautiful. It's not weird, but I put my hand at the window, even if it's a quick drive. Like I didn't even know the hospital was gonna pop up. I just say, protect them, give them a good day, find healing, like quickly. So I believe in the power as a Reiki, right? But
Hmm.
I do it
Yeah.
in my own format, my own
Right.
little format, and I send out light through these palms, through my heart, and I really, really feel like it touches somebody. You feel
Hmm.
me? So that's how I would send healing to the people that were affected
Yep.
at that school. And tonight I'll even do an intentional power surge for them, especially because it was brought up here. um you brought it in my face, like I seen it, honestly.
Yeah.
You like
But yeah,
Alex, I
yeah.
seen
I'm
it,
sorry.
but you said it, so like now it's a mission, right?
It's
Like
right
you
here in
brought it
It's
to me.
right here up the road. It's just like, oh god.
Oh, it's value too on top of that,
Yeah,
so
he
you
Right.
could, so when you don't have to do anything I say, of
Hmm.
course, but you could go on ahead, even wash your hands with some salt,
Hmm.
just wash it off, and you sit and you just, when you're sitting and you turn on the TV or whatever you do real quick, 2 minute, 1 minute, and you just use your third eye, close it because you're close to it and you're doing
Yeah.
the energy work, right? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be with you in sound and mind and whoever else wants to be with it. And I'm saying you did it
mhm,
at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, it's 10, and I just sit there and you meditate, I meditate, and then we send out the healing and pray that it hits the right corners.
Nice.
That's what I do because we can't say that we can't change. I can't alone change the world, and not us three alone could not do it alone. But
Right.
Right.
we could do it by talking, as we are now,
Hmm.
advocating. We could do it by our own spiritual or prayer or whatever we do, and send that frequency out there. And trust me, energy speaks, honey.
Yep.
Frequencies
It
talks
does.
when
Oh
money
yeah.
can't walk.
Right. No, unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. But
I do
energy. Oh my God,
poetry.
I put a lot of credence into energy. Being a paranormal guy, I think it's all
Right.
energy based on
You
energy.
already do it. You already do it. You be telling them back up. Don't come. You be singing look, you sing ludicrous to the energy, the ancestors. You be like, move, get out the you be like, don't come with me.
Right. No, you can't come with me. You don't have to go home, but don't come here, please. Um, one thing again that comes through on your bio is that other than the helping people release trauma, reclaim their power and reconnect with their divine blueprint. Can you talk a little bit about that for a minute? What is a divine blueprint? Do we have? Is it like we have a set fate? What is it that you're referring to,
um,
please?
so I am a believer that we signed our contracts prior to coming here.
Yep.
I do have the belief in my heart that we did. Now, when we went through the process of being the embryo and the eggs and all of that, of course, we had that relapse and don't remember none of that we signed. So, sometimes people like, I don't believe why I'm going through this. Like, even myself, when I say, there was a point in my life and say, well, I'll be daggone that I said, put some of that on my plate. Put some of that. By the time I do that, I'm gonna get through that one too. That is easy. Throw that on the plate too. I can handle that when I get down there. You playing. I get down here, I'm like, what the hell? You told me I chose this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do believe in that. Um, I got lost in my world. What did you just say?
Finding your spiritual blueprint.
Yeah.
Finding the blueprint, that's a part of it. I do believe in that as well. And I do believe we have our own individual DNA.
Hmm.
When we only have our own, we all have our own individual fingerprint, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Um, Imagine that. How is it we only have if we have our own individual fingerprint, that means something else somewhere else too, within
Hmm.
our spirituality and our own soul growth, our sovereignty, right?
So it's our
Our own
spiritual DNA or
our
spiritual
spiritual
fingerprint.
DNA, our even if we're going, because we have our spirit, to me, we have our spirit, we have the avatar, we have our spirit, but then we have our soul contract. You know what I mean? That
Hmm.
contract that we made before we came into this energy here, which is the avatar and the spirit playing around on the earthly field, but that soul contract is above. That's like when you go into the planetary systems and you're going into that other energies
Yep.
prior to the
Hmm.
earthly lands, like the Lyrians, Palladians, and beyond, right? That's when you
Hmm.
access your Akashic records, your library, your book of life, right? So I
Okay.
do
Yep.
believe we have that book of life. So in my readings, I would basically do readings that help you kind of get a little activation for yourself. Just like he said, his buddy said his third eye was activated after a Reiki session. I'm a person that activates, like, so you come to me. It's not that I know more than you do about yourself. It's not that I'm better than anything. I'm just a friendly reminder that you got this in you.
Hmm.
You got that in you. You're able to do that. It's not beyond you. You came through this already. It's been done before.
Yep.
So
She's
through
a
Oh,
the
great
nice.
readings, I
coach.
activated.
She's a great spiritual coach. I mean,
Yeah.
she's my personal one. So
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
why
Oh,
I got her
that's
on
what
there
you
today. Yeah.
brought her on to. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I love the combination of spirituality and like almost like a therapeutic approach. I was absolutely like transfixed on the bio. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. Um, uh, shit, I had another. Oh, God, I had a question. Jai, can I throw it at you while I try and grab the question in my brain?
Recalibrate.
Sure. I was gonna tell you, ask you with your business, are you gonna start selling like bowls and stuff like that, or are
Mm.
you just gonna be selling your services?
So I'm a manifesting generator. That's if you go into the a whole human design. They got astrology, they have human design, they have cardology, they have everything. But
Hmm.
Mhm.
anyways, with the manifesting generator, and I do quotations because we're everything and nothing at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a person to say
Mhm.
like I am this because one title doesn't define me. You feel me?
Right.
But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, with that manifesting generator brain, I'm always thinking of ideas. Like I have 1,000 and billion. If you need an idea, you got something, y'all got something going on, and y'all like, man, how should we call me? I might get some for you for like in 5 minutes. So I do want to sell teas and herbs, especially when it comes to the doula portion, because
Mhm.
when I have the clients, I could have my own teas I could give out to them or, put together. I had diabetes in my past, in this lifetime,
Right.
probably a past lifetime too, but in this one for sure. And like, give out herbs and teas and stuff. I would love to sell sound bowls. My son loves to draw, so me and him had a project for his class where
Mm.
we acted like he had a company for Shark Tank, and his company was selling sound bowls with his drawings on them. So if
Oh.
that could become like a reality, like he loves anime and
Right.
stuff, like that would be so awesome to have sound bowls for kids with his specific
Right.
drawing on them
Yeah.
and sell those. Like I think that's so beautiful, but I'm not there yet.
So
So
I'm sorry, a sound bowl. It's like that bowl, and you do the thing, and it makes that
It
like
goes, "Woo."
that
the
funky
frequency
sound. That's like
sound. I
very
was gonna bring it
relaxing.
over here, but I didn't. I wasn't sure. I was like, I stay probably
It's all right.
first. But yeah, yeah.
I've seen them before, but they're very cool. That's like to help what people
The
meditate. How do you? What do
frequency.
you?
So that's the frequency, the sound waves, the activations. You could put on sound waves on YouTube that help you with your adrenal gland, with your sleeping, with your if you have
Oh, right,
heartburn,
right.
if you have foot pain, like they have frequencies for each one.
Hmm.
And even us being born into this realm, we have a frequency that we were born with too. Don't ask me what your specific frequency is, but we all have a sound wave that
I
come with us, you know.
I definitely believe that because there's times where I'll hear things that other people don't hear. I'll catch it on like a recorder, but like, hey, you guys hear that? Like, no, what'd you hear?
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I just like
Mhm.
heard a person like yelling, or I heard a woman actually be like a woman yelling. I didn't say it, but I mean, like,
Clairvoyancy. I think it's
yeah,
clairvoyant. You're so you could hear music that so like
I
for
have,
me with
I have.
so with the ancestors. So say let's use your grandpa. I hope you don't mind. So say we use your grandfather and you was just thinking about your grandfather for one split second, and then bam, you hear somebody driving by with a song he used to love, and you like,
Yeah,
what the hell? That's a
right.
part of that clairvoyance, like that
Right.
hearing. So it
I've
happens
had the
all over.
I've had the smell before. I've smelled. I've had it was like a strong perfume. But we were on an investigation. I went from like one investigator to the other across the room. And we both the strong and the perfume wasn't present in the room. But then, like on speaking to the homeowners,
Hmm.
the woman it was a tenement. The woman who lived in a
Hmm.
tenement for years and years and years upstairs. She wore like Candy, which was perfumed by
Okay.
Avon back in the day,
Oh,
and
Avon.
it had
Yes.
this very sweet, pungent, sweet smell. Like she overwore it all the time because she used to like pee on the floor or pee
Okay.
herself,
Hmm.
and she'd use that to like mask the smell of it. And it's
Hmm.
like it was like the sweetest, most aromatic perfume. And she had the woman who lived there had one perfume. And it was like a male musky, like almost. It was
Okay.
nothing in
Opposite.
comparison,
Hmm.
complete opposite. So that happened once. The audience has happened. It happens regularly. On
So.
investigations mostly. And I get this like holy shit sensation that I've gotten since I was a little
Mhm.
kid. That will
Hmm.
start in like my back, go down my spine, be in my.
Hmm.
It's like almost like a pressure.
Hmm.
I don't know what you would call that, but
So.
it's definitely paranormal. Like honestly,
Mhm.
So they do have, and I'm not saying that that's the energy because there's so many different. They all come. They're all energies, but they come with their own intentions, right?
yeah, yeah,
So what you might feel one on your shoulder, but it means no harm, but you might feel another on the other shoulder, it might mean a little harm, so
yep,
they do have like succubus and incubus energies that like kind
right.
of, but those are more like they're trying to literally what it sounds like succubus, like taking the
Have
vampire, like
sex.
taking energies from you.
It's
But
like
then
a
you have
Sexual.
it's like yeah, that's like she says say it's more like a
I
tingly
know.
at first. It's like a
Right. So
pressure almost, right?
and then they have the other energies. So I'm saying they have that, but then they have other energies because as I said, they might come in a form, but it doesn't always mean the same, thing.
It's
So the ones that
always
come to
this
you,
same feeling. I've gotten it. Christ, I can remember being a little buddy, and when I was a little buddy, my father we didn't go on like family vacations to like Disney World. We went to like Mount Vernon, or we went to Monticello,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
or to Washington
Mm,
D.C., like these historic places because I'm a dork, and
okay.
they
I would
come
initially
together.
get this feeling at these different places, and then
Hmm
it would like build as I got older. And in
hmm
my teens, it was stronger, and then in my 20s, it was like holy shit. And then I
So
started having more experiences um,
So
later
one,
on in life.
it could be a certain like one of your angels, one of your ancestors that's supposed to, one of your guides that walk with you and they built over time. It could also just mean like they know that you know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? That's like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, right? Like
Mhm.
once they found out that she really could know, they was jumping in and out of her because they was like, "Oh, you know." So we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
try to
we're gonna use
communication.
you as you're gonna use you as that
They want to get your
form of
attention.
communication. There's been times where
Yeah.
I've gone into like a haunted building, and I remember one in particular was on Block Island in Rhode Island, and I worked at a whole building, this old hotel, and the whole bed and breakfast size place. I worked at the whole building, did like EMF sweeps and like just like just like the wonkiness. If it's an unbalanced floor, be wonky, and then you feel a certain way, and it's like false positives almost in a paranormal
Mm-hmm.
investigation. So look at everything in the daylight hours. So I
Mm-hmm.
did the whole house with my wife, and we get to the bottom floor in the kitchen. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I didn't go in the basement. She's like, oh, there's like maids' rooms and stuff. I'm like, yeah, let me go down there. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna go in the car. All right, cool. So I go downstairs, swept the whole basement, went to the maid's quarters, went to the other quarters, and I go through the second room that I go in. It's like a double bedroom. I go in the back bedroom, and it's like it has that sliding glass door and a shelf, like a piece of the wall almost. So on that wall piece on that shelf, I'd see it's like this old book of Block Island. I'm like, oh, being the history dork I am, I sit there and start reading. Completely comfortable, completely like don't feel any weirdness, don't feel anything at all. And then suddenly, as I'm like reading this, looking at this book, it just hits me. It's like that sudden like, holy shit, buddy, it's time to get the hell out of here. So I put the book
Mm-hmm.
down. I'm like, hey, I'll see you guys later. And I ran straight up those stairs. I ran right out the door, got in the car with my wife, and we got the fuck out of there. I did go back like 6 hours later and have like a 14-hour awesome investigation. But it
Mm-hmm.
feels like when I get that feeling in a certain area, I'll go back to
Mm-hmm.
that area and I'll hit record. And almost 9 times out of 10, I'll get like an EVP or I'll get something like that. Is like
Mm-hmm.
that's almost like my intuition. Like, hey, buddy, this is where we should start. I don't know. I don't know if
Right,
it's
right.
Right.
something psychic. It's something just in my body feels like the change in barometric pressure. I don't know what it
You're
Mm-hmm.
is.
you're
I like to
using your
say I'm not special,
intuitivity.
but
Yes, you are. You're
maybe.
using your
Yeah.
intuitivity. You're intuitive. You're
Mhm.
on point. Listen, you're picking up one of the best things to pick up frequency, like the
Mhm.
actual raw. So, like, as I said, when you rub your hands together like this
Yep.
and you make that fire and then you go like this,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
literally.
That's Quigoon. Yeah, that's the feeling the ball of energy and control it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done that.
So you literally, you don't even need the ball. Like
Mhm.
you're the ball. Like you're the one that is like literally gravitating to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that is definitely special because remember, everything's needed. We sometimes we can't see the bigger picture of why we have this or why we know this or, but there's always a reason. Even if it's like a
Mm-hmm.
movie, you see how somebody in a movie might have the smallest part, but their part was literally the key to the whole
Mass.
movie. Like,
Right, right. It tied
Right.
everything together.
yeah.
Right, and that
So,
that that, that leads me to the question that I forgot that I threw at Jai because I
mhm,
it farted out. It came back to me. So another thing I've noticed in my own life, in other people I've met, whether they're mediums or they have experiences, um, is there a connection? Do you feel we were talking about the DNA earlier, spirituality DNA? Do you think there's some kind of piece of our DNA that connects us genealogy, familial connection to being able to have some sort of you know being special in some way? Is it like
Yeah.
my mother has the same like vision. Like my mother's
Is it
almost
in the
blind,
genes?
and
Is
she
it in the
sees
genes?
like spirits. My aunt,
Hmm.
she's a licensed therapist, and she does the Reiki, but she has like she sees entities. We've
Hmm.
investigated together many times. She has the gift. I have cousins who like talk about seeing ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like very almost like bred through. It's not all of us, but certain
Mm-hmm.
ones it kind of like bred through the genes. Do you think that's genealogy, or do you think it's just shit luck? What are your thoughts, Alicia?
So, definitely beautiful question, and definitely it's in the genes for
Yeah,
sure. Like
Hmm.
it's definitely in the genes. But so the people that are actually awake are alive on the planet, right? Because there's some people just walking around, they don't got no nothing, right?
nothing.
But
Right,
we're talking about the ones that are awake, and even if they're not awake to the spirituality, they still have the feelings, emotions. We all have that intuitivity. We were born with it,
hmm,
but only few of us are able to unlock it. It's like a game for
Right.
real out here.
yep,
It's like the highest
Right.
levels. So not only is it in the genes, but then I think about our past lives, right?
right,
And 9 times out of 10, you already had a past life with your mom, the people in you that you've seen in your family, you had a past life with them in some sort of way, even your friends, right?
right, right,
Hmm.
But specifically about the genes, definitely
hmm,
it could be handed down because I'm a handed down person. That's why I say I was born. I just knew how to do this stuff.
right,
Right.
No one really taught me nothing. Like, you know what
right.
I mean? I really taught myself,
It
taught
was
with the
there,
Most
right?
High guides, and it was just in me.
Hmm.
So, yeah, definitely in the genes for sure.
That's
Some
awesome.
Yeah,
people
my
have a
mom
way
was
more,
a
though.
psychic.
Like,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
your
My
mom.
mom was
Hmm.
a psychic too. So,
Yeah.
and it ran in our family. My grandma used to see things, and so
The
growing up seeing
Definitely.
things,
yeah,
it was like my family accepted it. They were
right. I
very
mean,
much
certain
like, oh,
cultures,
you
it's
got the
more.
gift. Yeah, they
Certain
didn't
cultures are
like
more open
stop
to it,
hinder it.
obviously. But I
Yeah,
did. Go ahead. I'm
my
sorry.
family's Jamaican, and of course I'm American, and
Hmm.
like my grandma on my father's side was Irish and German, like the whole mixed up of
Oh
everything
wow.
is whatever is inside, but definitely it comes be 9 times out of 10
From the
your mom
genes.
had it, or
Hmm.
somebody your great grandmother had it, or
Hmm.
you'll find somebody in everybody's family has it.
Yeah.
Okay, like I don't care what nobody says.
Right. Like you
So
said, it's just who can activate it and
right.
I'd love to see
who
like
can't.
somebody like do like just some kind of like a quantitative study, just like statistically wise, and just like actually like write this shit down and let me see over a course of like 20 years how many
Mhm.
generations like of people can like communicate with the dead and they're all related. I think there's something to it.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe not. Try.
Remember, they
I'm
made
sorry.
it more of a practice back then, like within the indigenous like cultures and stuff. Like
Right.
they had the night of like whatever. Like they used to communicate with them more openly, but
Incredibly,
now.
this area we have the Hockmark Swamp. It's up in southeast of Massachusetts. It's about a 35-minute drive from where I am right now. It's
Okay.
a part of the Bridgewater Triangle. If you've ever heard of the area,
Hmm.
um, the Hockomock Swamp. Hockomock is Wampanoag for a place where spirits dwell. So this is like they named this long before white settlers came here. This area was known to be haunted um
Mm.
by the natives spirit,
Yeah.
Mm.
it was a thing. So I mean and it just continues to be today. So it's there's definitely something, yeah, definitely something to be said about the native cultures and the things that they've experienced spiritually. I think there's definitely a connection for sure. Jai, before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to any last questions you'd like to throw at Alicia?
What can we expect next from you?
What can we expect? I am stepping more into the doula world, so
Hmm.
I hope to make some more content. I am Miss Lucy Love 1111 on YouTube as well,
Mm-hmm.
so follow me there. But I am trying out some new twerk yoga. I know twerk yoga, trap yoga. We're moving the body. We're regulating the nervous system. I am, Jamaican. I love to dance, and we
Hmm.
want to move those hips, men and women. It's not only for women, men, women,
Right.
to move your hips and release. And remember, as a woman, like we hold whole generations of pain and suffering from other generations, like 7 generations before, in my own womb that I don't even know those women. So I want to help
Mhm.
to activate and what is it? Chain breaker of my lineage and reset things. So we're working on some twerk yoga. We're working on some poetry books, some short stories. We're working on finding some funds for these 22 stray cats that I got outside. That's
Hmm.
you can look me up at TikTok at Cats Love Me 222. They need food. They need food, y'all. Not- so you could
She
always
has a lot
donate
of
to them
cats.
too. And I'm just here making the place a brighter place, making myself a brighter person, and
Hmm.
not having limitations. So that's it.
That's
That's what you're
wonderful.
All
here
right.
for.
That's great. And
Thank you.
people can find you on all the social media outlets as you just
Miss
listed.
Lucy Love.
Um, uh, and you're out of Pennsylvania, Ohio, New
Yes,
York,
I'm in Pennsylvania right
those
now, but I
states.
am a
Pennsylvania.
New York bred person, Queens, but I am in
Nice.
Pennsylvania, lovely Pennsylvania. I do
Nice.
have my college degree in communication, radio, TV, and print as
Oh, perfect.
well.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming on and hanging out tonight. It's always it's great to talk like not only just like ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs, like the outliers of the paranormal, like the mediums, the metaphysical, the everything included. I think it's really cool what you're doing, and I hope people check you out. And we'd like to have you come back on again, maybe later on the show, talk about more what you're doing. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, again, my hearts go out to these two young people who lost their lives too soon. And any information on the douchebag, the shooter, did 401-272-3121 Providence Police, the FBI are looking for tips on any information to bring this man to justice. So please take a good look. It's a blurry picture, but he's a fat guy, so he probably can't run that test. I don't know. Honestly, for Alicia Brown of Sacred Glow Wellness LLC, for Jai, it's been me, buddy. There, this has been the Ghost and the Goat. Thanks for tuning in this week, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week, the week before Christmas, as we welcome yet another medium, Christina Marie. She was supposed to come on a few weeks ago. She had an emergency, had to cancel the whole show. We're gonna welcome her back on this week. I'm actually going on an investigation with her like 2 days before. I have some
Mm,
EVPs, Jai, to play from the last time I went out with her. Really good stuff. Tune in next week for all
sounds
that
good.
great stuff. Some really nice ghostly gifts to unwrap before Christmas time. Here was Jai and me, buddy. There. Tune in next week. And as always on Thursday, Three Dudes Brews, the last call as we welcome the Baron of the bass, Paulie Phillips, Paulie P, formerly of the band State of Corruption, will be in to join us live, maybe play some music, maybe talk about beer. Tune in Thursday night for that. Tune in next Tuesday for Christina Marie. This has been Buddy there, the Ghost and the Goat, Jai, Alicia. Have a good week, folks.
Good
Toodles.
night.
All right.
Peace.